Day. Yes, it's another Friday where we come live and we learn, we unlearn and we relearn. Today is all about nurturing self-confidence in your child. So I'm here to kind of teach you proven strategies that I know are effective to nurture self-confidence in your children, in my children, because yes, self-confidence is not just a one thing. It's not just a one thing affair. It's not something you say, okay, I want to do A, B, and my child will become confident. It's not the one thing you say, okay, like we do most of the time. You tell your child, okay, say I am confident, I am bold, I can do everything I set my mind to. And then your child becomes confident. Nah, it's not like that. Self-confidence is a seed that needs to be watered all the time, that needs to be nurtured all the time. Self-confidence is an attitude. Yes, that is the word I'm looking for. It's an attitude. And today we are going to learn all about it. We already know, we can't be talking about, the importance of self-confidence. We know the importance of self-confidence. It is why we want our children to be self-confident. It is why we as adults we want to be self-confident. See, I've had my own fair share of the effect of lack of self-confidence. I think these glasses kind of they are obstructing me right now. I've had my own fair share of the effect of lack of self-confidence. Oh, I can't begin to share stories. When you actually know something, I remember when I started this parenting thing, and not very many people were doing parenting. Nah, I actually started it. I think I had a group on Facebook then. I still have it now. And the idea was just to come to just like I have my first degree in psychology. So when it comes to human behavior, I know exactly what I'm saying and I know what I'm doing. And I've always had the mind, even right from when I was in the university, when I was studying psychology, when I started understanding human behavior, I told myself that, see, I am going to do things differently and I'm going to start with my parent and children. I'm going to parent my children differently. So I always had this knowledge, this zeal to actually affect parents or to impact them. I've always had this zeal to touch children. I just believe that we can actually do things differently if only we understand certain things. So when I came online back then, I had the zeal, I had the interest, the passion, or the thing to just start on this parenting thing. But guess what? That was about over 10 years ago. Yes, it was over 10 years ago. But guess what? Oh, lack of confidence came calling me. I was telling myself, if I come online, I actually had a name. Yes, I had a name that I would say, I don't know, I had a name that I was supposed to open a Facebook group, give it, because I actually was looking for a Facebook group to join on parenting. There was no parenting. It was after later I saw one parent right or something like that. I had the name in my head and everything, and I said to myself, this name is too professional. If I open a Facebook group with this name, people will think I know so much. They want to be consulting me. What if I don't have anything to say to me? What if we are okay? Thank you for joining today. It's all about how to nurture self-confidence in your children. So I was telling myself, I'm giving a big background of my story, of my relationship with lack of self-confidence, or should I say self-confidence. So I was telling myself, what if I now people start asking me questions, people start looking up to me for solutions and everything, even though I knew it, even though I knew I could deliver, but I didn't have the self-confidence to actually show myself. And it is not just me, it is very many people. I always say that lack of self-confidence comes in under different excuses, disguises. Someone said, good evening, coach. Good evening, man. Thank you for joining me today. Comes under different excuses. You will say, okay, one time I was on Facebook and somebody said, well, have you not started something? And someone said, I've not learned enough. I said, what happens to learning on the job? It is lack of self-confidence. Someone will say, oh, this is not perfect. I am not perfect yet. I am not yet there. Or you just give excuses. The funny thing, these excuses may seem valid. They may seem valid, but the truth of the matter is they are just lack of self-confidence. And The other day I shared on Facebook that, see, skills are important. Yes, they are the first step to success. No one can take that away, because you have to have something. Even the Bible says the gift of human maketh a way for him. You have to have a gift, a skill, a talent or something, a skill. However, now, if you don't have the self-confidence to even project yourself, to present yourself, to back up your skills, you are not going anywhere now. It is why very many people, they are struggling somewhere because of lack of self-confidence. I read somewhere that the grave is the richest place on earth. Why? People died with thousands, with millions of ideas that would have made them billionaires. What is the problem? What stopped them? Self-confidence. So I'm talking about self-confidence in general. Let's look at our children. We can't even negotiate it. In every single thing you do, self-confidence has to be top on your list as a parent. If you are setting your parenting goals, you have to make sure that, hey, I'm nurturing children with self-confidence. Self-confidence has to come on top, because no matter how skilled your child is, self-confidence will come. If they lack self-confidence, they will not go far. If they lack self-confidence, they will not go far, no matter how skilled your child is, or your children are. So what you want to do is to prioritize self-confidence. I don't know if this video is bright enough. I just realized I didn't put on my light. I have an extra lamp I'm supposed to use. I just realized I didn't put on the lamp. So I hope this video is bright enough. Okay. We can't negotiate self-confidence. Self-confidence is the belief in one's capacity. And I always say to people who listen to me that, see, when you say you believe in something, or you say you value something, it is an idea until it is expressed. It is an idea until people can see it in you. It is an idea until it is reflected. So you cannot say, oh, I am confident, and your behavior is not confident. The same thing as your children. You cannot say, oh, I am raising self-confident child, when they are not confident in their behavior. That self-confidence becomes only an idea, becomes abstract until they are able to live it. So if your child says, okay, I believe in my capacity, like I just shared, I believe that, okay, I had the knowledge to coach parents. So even though my kids were still very small then, I've come from a place of big research. I have always been someone who is passionate about research. And when I talk about research, I just don't mean, oh, go to Google and read. No, my research is, I do my physical research. Like, if you've read my book, Understanding Your Child, you know exactly what I mean. I ask questions. Oh, I'm always asking questions. I don't see something and just ignore. I want to just know, okay, why, and do my comparison, take my data, do my analysis. That is how I have always been. Oh, thank you so much. My said is fine. So thank you, ma. That is why I have always been doing my research. And one thing I always say is that you can't say you believe in yourself without it reflecting. So I believed in that I had the knowledge. I believe that, okay, I studied psychology in my first degree. I was, when it was time for me to do my project, I actually sat down, researched, went to medical school, just asked one questions like that, so that I would know exactly what I was doing. That shows that I put in all into what I do. But when it was time for me to give, when I had a nod to, okay, I can actually do this thing. Parenting was not like everywhere now. Parenting, I didn't know about it. Just a very handful of people were doing parenting then. When I had that's an interest in going into it, because I had the knowledge, but coming to teach people, what if they now ask me questions? What if they put me on the hot seat? What if they bring issues for me? It wasn't there. So even though I believed I knew it, but it did not reflect in my choices, it is self-confident. So if you are self-confident, it must reflect in your choices. It must reflect in the things you do. The same thing as your child. Self-confidence is the belief in your capacity, belief in your ability, not just belief, theoretical belief, but practical belief. A child who believes in his or her ability is able to, believes actually that I can do all things. I can try. Believes that, okay, I made a mistake. I can try again. It was a mistake. It's not the end. That is a child who is self-confident. A child who is self-confident is a child that says, okay, why do I need to do what everybody is doing? Okay, I know what I'm doing. I have my goal. Like I tell my children, you are in school to learn. You have your purpose of being in school. You have your goal. So you are self-confident in limits that, okay, I have my goal. You all are going the other way. It is not what I'm in school to do. Because you believe in what you are in school to do, right? And you believe in the path you are following. You believe that you don't need anybody. You don't need to follow everybody to do what they are doing. Nah. You know what you are doing and you are going for it. That is a self-confident child. A self-confident child is the one that says, oh, I'm good enough. I can handle this. Oh, this is a problem. Okay, I can attempt to solve it. I can give my best. I can go in and actually do my best. Let's see. If my best is not good enough, what is the worst that can happen? Yeah, they will laugh. If they laugh, so what? They are laughing with their mouth. It doesn't affect me. Self-confidence is a child that believes that they are good enough. They know what they are doing. They have the ability. They have the capacity. Not just by saying, I always say to parents, see, if you don't have, if you are not nurturing, if you think you are nurturing self-confidence by telling your child, oh, I am self-confident, nah, it's almost a waste. You are not nurturing self-confidence. In nurturing self-confidence goes beyond just words of affirmation. We are going to come to that. So that is self-confidence. A child who is self-confident stands out. They are seen. They are heard. They are bold. They go for what they want. They are not easily derailed or swayed. Because they are self-confident. They can try. They will try, yes. Okay, it doesn't look like I can do it. Okay, let's see if I can do it. That is self-confidence. And like I shared earlier on, no matter how skillful a person is, if you do not have the right self-confidence, we have seen people, we've heard stories of people who they have opportunities. But what happens? They go there, they are not bold enough to face the opportunities. They miss out. It is what it is. I was talking to a certain parenting coach one time and she said something that the stage is for the loudest. It's not really necessarily for the one that is the person that is more skillful or more intellectually inclined. It is for the loudest. Because when you are bold, when you are loud, when you project yourself out there, people will see you. There's a saying that people see you the way you want them to see you. That is it. You want them to see you as self-confident. It's not just because you tell someone, oh, I'm self-confident. So no, it is because of the things you do every day. The way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the choices you make, everything all come together to project you as self-confident, even when you have doubt. Self-confidence doesn't mean your child doesn't have doubt. It doesn't mean your child doesn't have fears. It doesn't mean your child doesn't feel, oh, I may fail at it. It simply means that despite all that fears, despite all that doubt, despite all that second guessing, they are going ahead anyways. They go ahead. Yes. Okay, I'm actually scared right now, but what is the worst that can happen? That is it. That is self-confidence. And so when she said, oh, the loudest take the stage, I sat down and said, it is true. That is it. So no matter how skillful you are, if you don't have the self-confidence, if you don't project yourself, you will not be visible, you will not be recognized, you will not get what you are worth, you will not be seen. I don't know how to put it. You will not get what you are worth. That is the simple truth. So, which simply means that for our children to succeed, we actually need to deliberately nurture self-confidence in them. Like I said, I've always said, affirmation is part of it, but it is the least part of it. Say, oh, because we do this a lot in parenting, I'm confident. It's part of it, but I tell you, it is the least part of it. So let me quickly run you through how to nurture self-confidence in your children. There are strategies I've seen work for people. I've researched both people physically and people, especially in this community where I am now. I realize that children in this community, even though they are crude, I want to use the word not in a derogatory way, but one thing about them is they are bold. They are bold, they are bold, and I would say they are confident in a certain way. Yes, they are bold. So I've put my ears down, put my eyes down, and I've done a bit of research, and I'm going to share with you some of the things I've put together. Self-confidence doesn't mean you don't have fear. Absolutely, you don't have fear. You have fear. You are afraid. That is it. You have your doubt. Will this thing work? You have your doubt. It doesn't take. Those are human factors. It doesn't mean that you will not make mistakes. Those are human factors. It doesn't mean that you don't seek perfectionism. Those are human factors. It means that despite all of that, you are not stopping. You know when they say nothing is going to stop me now, it means you are not stopping. So now let's go into how to nurture self-confidence in our children. By the way, my name is Enini Orebo. If you are seeing me for the first time, and I'm a parent coach, and I'm the lead coach at the Visionary Parent Academy. It's an academy where parents are skillfully empowered to parent with confidence, to parent towards a vision, to parent intentionally. Now, this is one of the things we are doing this month. This is the major thing we are doing this month. It is our nurturing self-confidence in our children month. And the material I'm speaking from is a material we've designed for the class already. So if you are in the Visionary Parent Academy, you already have this material with you. It is that material I shared yesterday. I upgraded it, I updated it, and I shared, I deleted, I updated, and I shared again. Everything I'm sharing with you here, we have 80% of the things I'm sharing with you here in there. And you know that we have a challenge. So the challenge is also in that material. However, you'll be getting every day one challenge from the material to remind you. So what you want to do is, after taking this class, because nurturing self-confidence in our children is not just a one thing. It's not just a one-day thing. Like I said earlier, it's not just telling your child, oh, I'm confident, and your child becomes confident. It's not just, oh, one thing, one-day thing. No, it is a seed that needs to be nurtured. It needs to be nurtured. So the Visionary Parent Academy, you have the material. So what you want to do is, after watching this class, you want to open your material and follow me, follow us. The coaches are available to always hold us and take us through. You know that. So we are going to be dropping, the coaches will be dropping one activity a day from this material you already have. We have it, all the things I'm sharing here, we have there. We even have more. We have I think the last material I added to it was okay, just open it and get all your materials. And if you're not in the Visionary Parent Academy, you want to register and join us for 2025. Because what we do, all these materials, if you register with us, you are going to get them. You are still going to get them and use them. You are going to get them. We have a lot of things we do in the Visionary Parent Academy. So you want to join us for 2025. You want to leave a comment to ask how you can join us so that we can all grow and parent intentionally together. Because, see, we have been making a lot of sacrifices. Oh, a lot of sacrifices we are making for our children. And God forbid that these sacrifices, they come to waste. No, it's a lot. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. Every day my kids, oh, mommy, we're supposed to buy this in school. I'm like, oh, I'm really not very financially okay right now. Yesterday my daughter was telling me, mommy, if we had them, if we had 2 girls, 2 boys, this house would be so fun. While my 2 brothers are paying, I can have a sister and play with. And I told her that having another child is expensive. It is really very expensive. And she was telling me, okay, I have some money. I have some money and all. Are you kidding me? Your money wouldn't even pay my fare to the hospital when I'm going to deliver my baby. It wouldn't even pay for one day I'm craving for something. You know, it's a lot of sacrifice we make. So at the end of the day, our sacrifice will be worth it. Our sacrifice needs to be worth it. And so we need to put in the right effort. It is why I'm inviting you to the Visionary Parent Academy. You will be empowered. You will actually learn the right effort to put into raising your children. Okay, so let's go. Now, before I go into how to nurture self-confidence in our children, I want to start by saying that, see, just like very many other skills, self-confidence is one that We have naturally in different degrees. Yes. Some people they have just a certain level of confidence in them from small. You can see it in them. Why some people the environment kind of not nourishes it. Okay, let me start. We have it in different degrees. There are some people that they have it very low. Now, if you understand temperament theory a great deal, you will understand that a typical melancholic, for example, is going to struggle with self-confidence. Why? They just want to be perfect. So because they are not, and because perfection is an illusion, it's always difficult for them to just go out and try. So it is why it is super important as a parent, you want to start by understanding your child. Yes, you understand your child, you understand how they score they score naturally in different skills. Like some people, they already score very high. I have a friend, for example, I always tell her that, see, your patience needs to be studied in Harvard. Your patience is top notch. I have never seen anyone who is half as patient as this, my friend. Her patience kind of inspired me to be patient. I am 50% phlegmatic, yes, by temperament. And one will expect that, okay, I am patient and tolerant. But my friend's patience and tolerance, whoo, it's something else. It's almost overboard that she's able to. I can't begin to share some of the things I experience, some of the things I give her kudos, I give her the flowers for. So some people are naturally high when it comes to some temperament traits, while some people they struggle with it. Like I said, if you have a child who is phlegmatic, there's every likelihood that a child who is phlegmatic, yes, and a child who is melancholic, there's every likelihood that self-confidence is going to be a struggle for them. And if you have a child who is choleric, there's every likelihood that their self-confidence, you just need to help them channel it aright. So one thing is, many traits we have as human beings, they are inborn. Yes, they come in certain degrees. However, what we do, the parents have a role. We know that what we do with our children, to our children, for our children, the children, to our children, for our children, the environment we create goes further to either nourish this, to either, is like a seed that is planted. It's just like the type of seed you are planting. Sorry, excuse me. The type of seed that is planted, and how you are nourishing that seed, how you are watering that seed, what you are doing to that seed. So that is it. So as a parent, you want to sit back and look at the first thing I want to share here is how to nurture self-confidence in your child is to create an environment that promotes self-confidence. That is the number one thing. As a parent, you need to deliberately, intentionally create an environment that nurtures self-confidence, an atmosphere that nurtures self-confidence. It is trying to create the atmosphere that we have things like, we have affirmation for our children. It is absolutely fine. But let me tell you something, secret about self-confidence. Self-confidence is believing in your abilities, right? Believing in your capacity, believing that you can. Now, let me tell you something. Let me use this particular thing that just got into my head now. As a young adult, you are in a relationship, you are dating, and you have someone that says, I love you so much, I love you. And at the end of the day, the person goes ahead to marry another person. How do you feel? I want you to drop in the comment section. Do you feel that the person loves you? Someone loves you so much and they go ahead to date another person. Do you feel that the other person loves you? Does it prove that they love you? That is exactly what happens when we begin to tell our children, say, I can do everything I set my mind to. Say, I am confident. When we do not show that we trust them to be confident. So the first thing is create an environment that promotes, that nourishes, that nurtures self-confidence. That is it. How do you promote the environment? When we talk about giving children responsibility, when we talk about allowing your children age-appropriate chores, it is not just because we want to say it. You can't take age-appropriate responsibility away from from parenting. It is a no-no. Whatever you want to raise however you want to raise your child, whether you want your child to be independent, whether you want your child to be self-confident. Self-confidence is believing in your abilities now. You said no. Yes, now it means the love is not genuine. That is it. So it means your child is not self-confident. That you tell your child, oh, you can do everything. I am self-confident. And when your child wants to pick up something, they want to do something, they want to help you, you tell them no. Think about it. So if you, the parents, right, you don't allow your child pick up responsibility. You don't allow them do what they want to do. You tell them that you can do everything you set your mind on. And your child has set their mind on doing one particular thing. And you go there and you stop them. Hello? How does it work? How does it make sense? I know that it can be very difficult, really. It can almost be unrealistic to allow our children to do certain things, especially this time. Like my 7-year-old, he's always been on me. He'll be 8 in November. He's always been on me to include him in the kitchen list, because his two older siblings, 10 and 12, they are the ones cooking, do their cooking and all of that. So I think it's been since last year, early this year, he's been telling me, Mommy, he wants to be in the kitchen. Meanwhile, we have my family constitution, and in my family constitution we have age-specific task. You don't take up certain tasks until you get to a certain age. And by the way, it is one of the materials you will have in the Visionary Parent Academy when you join. My family constitution is about a 58 pages or 60-something pages material that you need to craft your family constitution, your vision, your goals, and everything. So you need to join the Visionary Parent Academy for 2025. It's a place you want to be. Okay, so he's been telling me that, and every time I'll be like, because I have my things I'm doing, and I also don't want to be jumping in the way. So when they're in the kitchen, I hardly ever go to the kitchen to bother them. Of course, they say maybe they are busy. Like on Fridays, when they get back from work, they have a lot to do. So I just go to the kitchen and prepare the food and all of that. That is when you will see me in the kitchen. So most times I will not bother myself in the kitchen. How about now? How can I be bothering myself in the kitchen when my children are grown enough to cook? I give them some responsibilities. So he's been asking that I should let him cook, and 7, no. And he's, funny enough, he's someone that can coordinate himself. He's someone that is naturally, children are different. He's someone that can naturally coordinate himself. He's not a jumpy child, even though he's very playful as characteristic of boys. But he's not, he can actually take charge when he wants to. He can be focused when he wants to. He can actually be intentional when he wants to. But I've not had the mind. So yesterday, my kids, they were washing. So I said, okay, let me help them prepare the sauce they were going to use for food today. And he came to me that, Mommy, I want to cook the stew. So I'm like, cook the stew from when to when? Okay. But anyhow, I allowed him. And guess what? We ate the stew today. Oh my God. You won't believe how super good it was. I'm not even kidding. It was so good. Anyway, it's crayfish stew. So it was so good. So good. Even though he kept asking me, Mom, is this salt enough? Is this seasoning cube enough? It was really so good. Now, he felt happy. That is, if I can make stew, I can do a few other things. So he is happy now. And that is how one way to raise self-confident children. I know it's not easy, but the truth of the matter is, it is about believing in your abilities. Now, if you don't get the opportunity to try, how would you know what you can do? If you don't know what you can do, someone keeps telling you, you can. And when you want to, they don't allow you. So what happens? It simply means that you will not believe you can. Another thing is mistakes. When children make mistakes, what do we do with the mistakes? If you learn to teach your child that, see, mistake is a part of life. Mistake is a part of life. So when they do something, they make mistake, you leave out the mistake. You look at the process. You acknowledge the effort they have put into it. They will know that, okay, because self-confidence is when a child makes a mistake and it says, okay, it was a mistake. What lesson did I learn from it? It's not the end of life, right? I just made a mistake. It simply means, maybe I always tell my children that, okay, when you fail in a particular question in class, it simply means that, one, you may not have understood it yet. It means that you may not have understood it yet, number one. Maybe you have not studied it enough to understand it. Maybe it is, you don't have the right, you don't have the, what is it called? The right formula to it. So that is it. So when you fail a question, what are you going to do? You are going to sit back and say, okay, why did I fail this question? Okay, I didn't understand it. Okay, I understand it. I mixed it up with another one. Oh, I understand it. I didn't mix it up. I was just in a hurry. I didn't patiently read the question. You go back and reflect. Why did I fail the question? And you go back and say, okay, I want to try again. That is self-confidence, and not you taking the mistake. Now, when you take the mistake, you rub it in. The child sees himself, okay, and I can't do it. No, I can't do it. If I do it again, I'm going to make a mistake. That is it. So what you want to do in your house is, firstly, create an environment that nurtures self-confidence. You have to change your vocabulary. Oh, yes. I was telling myself today that, okay, what vocabulary do I have that may not necessarily, language do I speak that may not necessarily nurture the skills I want in my children? Like this morning, something happened. So yesterday, my kids said, okay, on Fridays, because they close half day, they always say they don't want to take food flags to school. They want to take snacks. Every Friday, they want to take snacks. So yesterday, they said, okay, they wanted to take snacks, that they would take bread. I said, okay, fine, we have bread and stew. So they would just toast it, and that'll be fine. The ones that drink tea will take tea, the sachet milk and sachet Milo, they will take along. The one that doesn't drink tea will drink a lot of water. They agreed. And so my daughter has been craving rice and beans mixed. And so yesterday I told her, okay, today we're going to prepare rice and beans. And so she woke up this morning, she was like, oh, bread and tea. I don't want to eat bread and tea. I want to eat rice and tea. I want to eat rice and beans. And because they were not going, because they wake up 5 a.m. and that is because they will need to prepare their food in the morning so that they can go to school, leave the house early. So because they were not going to prepare food this morning, so they woke up, I changed the alarm to 5:30. They were not going to prepare their food in the morning, so there was no point waking up 5 o'clock. So they woke up 5:30. And they woke up 5:30, now will not give them enough time to now cook rice and beans now, even though the stew was made or the vegetable sauce was made. As soon as she said that, gosh, my head was just like, this girl. I told her, why do you always like to stress? I just went into nagging mood. Like, you like to stress. Was it not you? Were you not part of those that agree? After saying that, I now calmly, I have finished saying it before I remember that, no, it is not an emergency. It is one of the things we are big on in the Visionary Parent Academy. It's one of our mantras. It is not an emergency. You don't have to respond on the spot, because when you respond on the spot, there's every likelihood that, my friend will say jabo. I don't know what that means in Yoruba. You will jabo. If you're Yoruba, please let me know what it means to jabo. There's every likelihood that you are going to jabber, just like I jabbered this morning, because I wasn't seeing it as an emergency. Even though I tried to make up, I called, I said, okay, you don't want to eat, what is it called, bread for breakfast, what would you like to eat? And she said, rice and beans. I said, okay, it's already almost, it's past 6, it's already time for you to bathe. That's not possible. So you can go and figure out what you want to eat. That is it. And she said, okay, I will now do the rice and beans. That is it. So I told myself, I'm going to sit back and make a list of empowering vocabularies I need to use in my house every day to communicate with my children. If you are still here, please drop me a love, drop me an emoji. Let me know that I'm making sense. If anything resonates with you, please just drop it. And do well to copy the link and share. Invite other people. You know that this is not just for Visionary Parent Academy. We are doing this as one of the things we do to support other parents out there. So even if you are not with us, you can learn from this and run with it. Okay, so I said to myself, I was going to make a list of, I'm going to sit back and look at some of the things that actually, some of the times we clash, some of the times I'm triggered. I'm going to make a list of all of them, the times we trigger, the time I'm going to make a list, take account of all of them. So I'm going to write responses that will be empowering, responses that will be empowering, especially because this month is a month we are nurturing confidence in our children. So what I want to do is I want to make responses that will nurture confidence in them. I'm not just going to make random responses now. So I'm going to have it at the front of my head or the back of my head or the side that it is not an emergency. So this month I'm going to say it double and triple times the way I used to say it. It's not an emergency. So I can always take a deep breath in and out, and now think of the response that is appropriate to that situation. In that situation, that will nurture self-confidence and use it. So you have to make sure that, hey, your language, your vocabulary, your language, your choice of words in the house, they are appropriate to nurture self-confidence. They are not just random. Yes, for example, your child is doing something, they are struggling with something. There are ways you can, okay, I have this in the material you have in the Visionary Parent Academy I shared with you. Your child is struggling with something. The different ways, the different opportunities you have to nurture self-confidence in your child. I shared it. That should be the last material. So you have when they make mistakes, it's an opportunity you have to nurture self-confidence. What do they do with the mistake? What are they supposed to do with the mistake? Is it supposed to break them or make them? Is it supposed to make them bolder or make them? Yes, it's supposed to make them bolder or make them go back into their shell. What do you do when they make a mistake? So how do you respond to them when they make a mistake? It is in that material, so go and check it out. Visionary parent, check it out. So, okay, when they are struggling, for example, they are struggling to get something done around the house. They are struggling. Maybe you still have toddlers. They are lacing their shoes, or you have older friends. They come to tell you what they experience in. Okay, so when they are curious about something, it's another opportunity for you to nurture self-confidence in them. Okay, let me look for the material and share the ways, the different opportunities you have to nurture self-confidence in them. If you're a visionary parent, you have the material already. The different opportunities you have to nurture self-confidence in them. I always talk about don't miss teachable moments. They are teachable moments. Now, I want to call them building moments. They are building moments. They are nurturing moments. Moments where they make mistakes. Moments when they struggle with they struggle. Moments, I told my children the other day that when you get, I don't know what we're looking at. We're talking about something on our way to school. And I told them that, okay, when you get to school, look out for opportunities. Look out for problems to solve. That is who you are. You are a solution provider. Look out for problems to solve. Look out for things that are not where they are supposed to be. It can be anything, just in the small things. Just look at opportunities to solve problems in school. It is part of who you are, a problem solver. So even at home, look for problems to solve. It's not a big deal. Solving problem doesn't mean, you see somebody's car is on the way, the person's car breaks down on the way, you want to help them solve the problem. That is not within your capacity. However, there are small things within your capacity. You are coming into your room, you see a broom on the floor. The broom is not meant to be there. That is a problem you can solve. That is a problem you can solve. You come into the kitchen is messed up. It's not meant to be messed up. That is a problem you can solve. Someone is looking for something, they can't find it. You help them. That is a problem you can solve. Always look for problems to solve. So go to the material as a visionary parent, go to the material and check out different opportunities we have to nurture self-confidence in our children. Like I said, Focus on effort and not result, necessarily result. Focus on effort. Acknowledge your child's effort. Acknowledge their effort in what they are doing. Offer praise, yes. Not, I don't really want to call it praise, but acknowledgement. You are seeing their effort is super important. Make your environment safe. Normalize mistakes. I've shared that. Normalize mistakes. Now, one thing I want to beg parents, this is very important. This happens a great deal, especially in school, everywhere. Make your children's chores, responsibilities, every single thing age appropriate. When you make it age, see, confidence comes from wins. When you win at something, you will realize, oh, I can actually, when you win at something, you will have the more confidence to do more. Let me ask you a question. If you have been doing something and you keep failing, do you have the confidence to go on? You will not have the confidence to go on. So when you are failing too much, you will not have the confidence to go on. This is super important for parents who rush their children through school. I have never understood why. See, let me tell you something. If your child is a genius, it is super important. It's super okay. I even tell parents that, see, like I will tell my children too, if you are in a particular class, you are top on your list, you may want to come back and tell mom, every time in class they are giving me 100 over 100, especially when you know that you are not putting in so much effort. You are not doing any extra thing, you are just acing your papers. Then you want to know that that class may be beneath you. You need to go, it is on this ground I agree for double promotion. Because even the Bible told Adam, you are going to till the soil, which simply means that your success will not, for you to fulfill your potential, it will not just come rosy. You have to make a little effort. Adam will till the soil. You have to put in the work. It is a law of nature. It is a normal thing. Put in the work. That is it. So for your parents, for example, and for you as parents, for example, yes, it's okay to stretch your child, but self-confidence comes with wins. When you win at something, especially when you put in the effort, you will realize you will have the confidence to try harder. But when you keep failing, you will not have that confidence. If you look at the likes of Thomas Edison, the likes of Colonel Sanders of KFC, and all the people that have been noted for trying 1,000,001 times, look at their history. They didn't just sit down and was trying one particular thing. Nah. Some of the things they tried 1,000,001 times were just like side fun for them, something by the corner. So just like at the extra time you will do it. The extra time so their entire life did not depend on that particular thing they were doing. So let me bring it down to school. I see very many parents. Your child is struggling in a class. You are leaving that child in a class. Hey, God, I feel bad. I've worked with schools when I was in Lagos. I taught manners, etiquette, sexuality education, character building. I taught from Ikorodu, Ebute. I taught from Ebute in Ikorodu to Lekki Phase 1, Admiralty Way. I taught. Summer, I taught in Magodo. I taught in Bagada. I taught in, Lekki Phase 1. I taught in, Agege Motorway side. I taught in Ikorodu. I taught in Ikosi. So I went around different schools. And I can tell you, if you are a teacher, you know what happens in class. Have you read the book Gifted Hands? You know how Ben Carson was called the dummy of the class. It's exactly what they do to your child that is struggling in the class. The teacher gets irritated. It's not the teacher's fault. I always say, the teacher has a lot of children to attend to. So they cannot carry your child on their head, no matter how much you want them to carry your child on their head. So, and guess what? Your child keeps failing in that class. They're not doing well. The classmates mock them. The teacher gets frustrated and tease them and use negative words. And then you come home as a parent, you are paying school fees, you are frustrated, you are angry. You are just telling the child everything. The self-confidence is going to zero. is going to zero. So self-confidence comes from winning. Deliberately allow your child to win. Set the environment for them to win. And how do you make your child win? How can your child win? 1, make it age appropriate. 2, make it mentally appropriate. Because sometimes cognitively appropriate, that's what I'm looking for. Sometimes it may be people, the age, the chronological age and the mental age may not be the same. Usually for boys, I'm not talking about schoolwork now. A parent was reaching me that I was talking about the boy child, and I said, yes, if you have a girl child as your first child, except that girl child is super sanguine, there's every likelihood that that girl child will bring some peace and sanity. That girl child will be able to do certain things, meet certain expectations. But if your first child is a boy child, I tell you, from if you expect 13, someone was telling me that I'm hoping that by 13 my son will behave. I said, 13, your son behaves. Are you kidding me? Except your son is just one of a kind. That is why at 13 he will behave. Even at 15, you will still see him turning the house upside down. At 15, you will still see him playing rough. At 15, you see him dragging with his 7 and 8 years old brother. You'll be like, are you kidding me? Are you a tata? So I'm laughing too much. Okay, this is a serious matter, really. So, see, give your child, make it age appropriate. It's super important. Make it understand their cognitive level and make it appropriate. It's okay to stretch them, but before you stretch them, make sure you have empowered them. You have taught them. And how do you teach your child? You teach verbally, you give instructions. You ask them to stand and they watch you as you are teaching. After teaching that, you give them time to practice. And you are patient with them before you let them go. See Jesus Christ in the Bible now. Did he just take the disciples and put them and send them away? They were following him. He was teaching them. At some point, he was giving them instructions. Go and tell them the master sent you. Do this in my name. Do this one. They followed him all through. They were following him. He was teaching them. That is it. That is how you teach. You give verbal instruction. You sit your child down. You give verbal instruction. You take advantage of teachable moments. You don't assume that they should know. You make sure you have empowered them holistically. I can relate with your illustration. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Teach them holistically. Make sure they have learned it. That is how you are empowering them. That is how you will actually, what was I saying? That is how you are empowering them to actually be able to win. Because confidence comes from winning. You cannot just assume and put them at the middle. When they not try, they fail. You are nagging, you are whining, you are making them feel they are not good enough. You are comparing them. I always say to parents that, you see, those children you are comparing your child with, do you know how much effort went into them? Do you know what the parents do? Do you know what the parents do? You have no idea how much effort the parents put into nurturing them. You have no idea what exactly the parents do, what the parents are doing. You sit down in your house and you are comparing them. Are you kidding me? I remember growing up then, my dad, because one of my daddy's greatest tools was comparison. Oh my God, my dad would compare us like this. Compare us to anyone or with anyone at all that has, not that they have overall advantage over us. So someone, a woman was learning tailoring, we were going to school, he will compare us. Go and see Franca is learning how to sew, she's getting better at it. He had someone that was a bit close to him. Those children attended extra lesson. They had private tutors. We never even knew that, because my mom and my dad, they were always on the same page, parenting on the same page. My dad says yes, my mom will say yes. The kind of couple you don't, the kind of couple that children will not bring wahala. Your children, nah. They will not come in the way. My parents, example of them. And at the end of the day, it was maybe later when my mom was now maybe realizing that, my mom was not like, but these people you are comparing my children with, do you know how they attend extra lesson? They attend private schools. They were attending public schools. They attend private schools, good private schools, you know. They attend extra lessons. They also do extra tutoring. And do you know how much goes into funding their education? Because they come out first in class. You come and be telling us, go and see your year, go and see your woman, go and see this one. They're coming out first in class. You know, all of that. So before you compare your child, sit back and go and ask the parents, what are you doing? What is the extra effort you are putting into raising your child? How is your environment? What are you doing? When you have known it, they ask the parents, what is your child's temperament again? Yes, what are the foundational seeds sown in this child? So when you have noted all these things, then you cannot come and compare your child if you have also put all those things in place. But if you have not put all those things in place, I tell you, you have no right. You have no right to compare your child. Okay, so that is it. Before you want your make sure you create an environment for your child to win. Make sure your child wins. I was sharing how to make your child win. First of all, use praise, acknowledgement, make the environment safe for mistakes, set clear expectations, age appropriate expectations. Your child has to know, you know, because if your expectations are not clear, your child doesn't know what to do. It becomes difficult for you to praise your child or to acknowledge your child. They are just behaving randomly. You are upset now. What is this, you know? And then open communication. Always talk to your child. Have communications with your child. Be a positive role model. Take opportunity. Give responsibilities. I've shared that. Be consistent and stable and respect your child's individuality. So let's leave that. Let me go into the next two because we are spending too much time. I've talked about already that create the right environment, because that is a major one. The major thing you need to do is to create the right environment. That is the major thing. Every other thing is kind of depending on you creating the right environment. Every other thing is dependent on you creating the environment. Now, the next thing you want to do, in just like we have it in our e-manual I sent to you, if you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you're not taking advantage of the resources we are sharing. You will not get results. If you don't take advantage, you're not taking action, you're not getting results. You paid money to be in the academy. It simply means that you are wasting that, you wasted that money. It simply means that you are wasting your time. So what you should do is just to go and sleep. You don't have to, don't. Go and sleep, go and relax, go and watch television, go and, I don't know if they show Telemundo or Z World. Enjoy yourself, don't bother if you are not taking action. Because if you don't take action, you will not get results. Result is in the action. That is the truth. Even me that is here teaching you, I know that the times I don't take action, I don't get results. The things I do not take action. There are some things I want to take action. Maybe I'm too lazy to take action, or something happens, I'm not taking action. At the end of the day, sorry, excuse me, please join me on YouTube. Join me on YouTube. At the end of the day, I don't take action. So at the end of the day, what happens is I don't get results. I do not get results. So if you don't take action, it's a waste of time. So the next thing you want to do is you want to have a confidence jar. Yes, that's something in the you've created an environment, so you want to have a confidence jar. Let me show you. Sorry. This is my confidence. Okay, my confidence box. You know, in the Visionary Parent Academy, that like our emotional intelligence, it was a box. So we just take an old carton we are not using. We just take their old exercise book. We just wrap it around. We have a confidence jar here. So what we do, I look at in creating your confidence jar. Here's what you will do. What I did. Just look at the areas in your children's life they may be struggling with. What are the areas you actually want them to be more confident in or be more confident about? Look at those areas and have it written down. So every day, encourage them as you go out, be confident, show confidence. When you show confidence, you come back home and write it. Today, I showed confidence by doing X, Y, Z. Like today, my son wrote that, okay, he showed confidence by standing up for himself. Someone took his chair and he went to take the chair back, made eye contact boldly and all of that. That's how he showed confidence. My 7-year-old, okay, my daughter said she showed confidence by, I don't know, I think normally answering questions in class and things like that. These are not areas they necessarily struggle with, but just part of areas to show confidence. So my 7-year-old, what happened was, okay, my daughter said she showed confidence by correcting the teacher. The teacher spelled something wrongly in class. She corrected the teacher. My 7-year-old, he said he showed confidence by, this one did not happen today. I don't know why he reported it today. So last week or so, he came back from school. When I was going through his book, I saw his spelling book that he spelled, it was given 20 words to spell. And the teacher scored him 19/20. That's announcement. He spelled announcement as ANN. The teacher now marked it down and spelled and corrected him by AN, as in one N. So I looked at it, I was not like, okay. And even though I noticed it, but at that time I didn't think announcement spelling. So what my daughter said, my daughter now said, no, announcement is double N. My son was right, the teacher was not right. I said, okay. So we had to check the dictionary because she was very sure, and me, I was like, your teacher should be the one that is correct, because when it comes to spelling, when it comes to all those tricky spellings, don't give it to me. So we said, okay, your teacher should be the one that is right. My daughter said, no, she's, because my daughter and my second son, they are good spellers. My daughter said, no, my son said, it's double N. He knew it was double N, he spelled double N, but the teacher corrected him that it was one N. So my daughter said, my son was right, the teacher was not right. So I told him, okay, since you are right, you are going to go back to school. When you get back to school tomorrow or on Monday, go and bring your teacher's attention to it. Tell your teacher that, okay, you were right and she was not right in your spelling, And so he actually came back and said, yeah, he did it. So today he said that's his act of confidence he showed, telling his teacher that he went to his teacher and told his teacher that Mrs. XYZ, I spelled confident correctly. You may need to check the dictionary because even my mom checked the dictionary and I spelled it correctly. That is an act of self-confidence. I absolutely love it. So that is self-confidence now. So you want to have a self-confidence jar where every single day they display this act of self-confidence, they come and drop it in. Now let me tell you the advantage of this jar. Because they have something to do, it will encourage them to come, and it will encourage them. They are leaving the house every day. They are reminded, this confident jar, you are going to drop your act of confidence in the confident jar. And you have taught them ways. That's the first thing you want to do. Sit them down, teach them okay, I didn't talk about this. One of the first ones I was going to talk about. You are going to sit your child down, teach them about confidence, what it means, why it's important, and how to display it and how to show it. So when they are leaving the house, you remind them your act of confidence. So when they get to school or they get anywhere they get to, they are not going to be conscious of the fact that I need to come and report my act of confidence today and drop in the confidence jar, because the jar is not just for decoration. We are going to have a party at the end of the month. We have a confidence challenge. It's our confidence month in the Visionary Parents Academy. So we're going to have a party at the end of the month. They're already asking me there'll be popcorn and drinks. We're going to have a party at the end of the month. And before we have the party, we are going to bring out all our wins, all our acts of confidence, read them, and celebrate them. So that will be at the back of their mind. As they go to school, they'll look out for opportunities to be confident. Now, confident is practical. It's not just saying it. It's not verbal. Remember, it must reflect in their actions. So that is a confident jar. You want to also use that for your children. The next one you want to do, host a confidence challenge. Like we are doing in the Visionary Parents Academy. We have a confidence challenge, 28 days confidence challenge, starting from tomorrow to the end of the month, 28 days confidence challenge. A confident activity, one confident activity every single day. So just tell your child, okay, this month is a confident nurturing month for us. You are expected to show confidence every day. So every morning before you leave the house, you have one task you are going to do that shows confidence. It's just simple things. It's not something they will sit down and start doing. It's just in their behavior that will naturally flow with their everyday. It can be, okay, today you made a mistake. Look at, reflect on what you have done, find out how you made a mistake, and go back and do it. It can be, okay, something you are struggling with, you've not had the courage to do it because of excuses, go and do it today. It can be that. It can be today. Just sit back and create your vision and map out your strategies. It can just be every single act of confidence. The idea is that if it takes 21 days to get into a habit, then 21 days should be able to make a significant difference in your child's life, especially if you are following everything we have shared. The next one is modeling. Modeling. As a parent, we can't take modeling away from parenting. Nah, you must model. You want to raise confident children. You are not confident. Haba. Parents, we don't realize that is one way. The first one was creating an environment that nurtures confidence, that promotes confidence. And you are part of the environment. The environment is not just the building. It's not the things in the house. You as a parent, you are part of the environment that actually nurtures confidence in your child. So you always want to model it. How do you talk to parents and people? Are you a parent who will sit back and you are always complaining? It shows that you are not confident. How can you be complaining? One of the things I never get is parents are always complaining. You think you are doing yourself a favor, you are doing your child a favor. When you have a child, it's a different ball game. It's not only about you. Remember, your child is learning from you. So you complain about school, you complain about NEPA, you complain about bad government, you complain about every single thing. No, yes, things are really tough. They are getting to us. We are not saying don't complain, but don't sit down and be whining and be brooding. And no, confidence is you finding a solution. That is what you are teaching your child. You are in this solution, then you are finding you are in this situation. You are finding a solution to it. That is self-confidence. You are going to get out of it. You are finding a solution to it. It doesn't define you or anything. That is the attitude you want your child to have. You want to have the attitude too. You have people, you see somebody come, you don't want an association with the person. The person comes, you allow the person. At the end of the day, you are complaining. When the person leaves, you are complaining. What are you telling your child? You are not bold enough to express yourself. You are not bold enough to say what you want, right? Because confidence is not in just saying it, I'm confident. It is you acting it. So what you don't like, you don't like. Confidence is you setting boundaries against what you do not like. So what you don't like, you don't like. You don't like something. I know this can be very difficult for us, especially because we're raised to be people pleasers. Oh yes, a lot of us were people pleasers. I was a very big people pleaser. Even till now, I always call myself, I'm almost an empath, someone that things easily get to me. Sometimes I always want to sit down and always put myself in people's positions. But however, I have come to realize that, I cannot play this I cannot just be everywhere. I cannot, because I want to make someone happy, take in what I'm not comfortable with, and I will sit back and be whining. I will sit back and be crying. No, that is not what I want to do. So I've learned to set my boundaries. What I don't want, I do not want it. There is no point taking something that you're coming back to be whining, to be complaining, to be crying. No. So you are telling your child that you are helpless, you are a victim. No, you can be a victim, but what you do with every situation is up to you. What you do with every situation is up to you. And what do confident people do with situations? Situations don't define them, they define situations. So it is what you want to do. You want to make sure as a parent you are confident. I say parents, maybe you go for meetings, maybe PTAs or something, you'll be shy. You will not be bold enough to stand up. I remember back then in Lagos, when we go for PTAs, parents will sit beside me, they'll be talking, complaining. I'm like, I'm not the school. I'm not even a teacher in the school. I'm not part of the school management. So why are you complaining to me? I'm not even a PTA executive. Because the PTA executive they've had it for a long time before I joined. So I'm on the PTA executive. Why are you complaining to me? Why don't you stand up and talk about it? And you want your child to be able to boldly stand up and talk about something that bothers them when you are not able to do it. How about now? An apple doesn't fall far from the tree. A fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. How do they say it? So you want to model confidence. Your child is constantly watching you, looking at you, learning from you how you resolve issues. And if you resolve issues confidently, yes, your child will learn. That is how to resolve issues. Resolve issues confidently because your child is constantly watching you and learning from you. So learn to be confident. Learn to carry yourself with confidence. Make eye contact when you talk. Open your mouth and talk boldly. Don't go to people's back and be gossiping. Nah, confident people do not gossip. Really? Nah. They don't even have that time. They have bigger fish to fry than gossiping. So what do? You don't do that. Something that you want to, if you want to gossip about something, simply means that you are not pleased with the thing. So what do? You set boundaries, So you come back from work, you are always complaining. Nah, confident people, they don't complain. As a parent, that's not what you should be doing. You should be discussing your battles, your wins, your battles, your strategies, and your wins in a matter of straightforward matter with your child. Tell them, okay, because I always say to parents that, see, one of the things you can use to teach your children, whether create connection, build their mind and all of that, is to share with them your daily activities, what you go through every day, your daily experiences rather, what you go through every day. If you had a rough time, share with them. Then what were your strategies for overcoming it? So what were your wins? If you have victory song, go come and tell them. If you have struggles, tell them your struggles. They know that you are human. They know that you are a human being. You go through struggles. It makes them easy to trust you, because if you can go through struggles and go through struggles, then who is likely going to hear me? A like mind. So you are a like mind. They can trust you because they also know you go through struggles. So yes, it's not like coming back to complain. It's coming back to just share with them in an age-appropriate way what happened and the strategies you use to navigate them, and the story at the end of the day. Were there lessons? Was there a mistake? You share with them. That is what you do. Always make sure as a parent you take the confident approach to issues. Just learn to be confident to issues. Learn to be the confident approach to issues. When you learn it, if you don't know it, all the things you do, find out how can you be more confident in these areas of your life. How can you be more confident even in relating with your children? How can you be more confident in relating with your neighbors? How can you be more confident at work? How can you be more confident even in buying from the market? How can you be more confident at church? How can you be more confident where your siblings are? We are not just a dumping ground. Everyone will come and you can't say no. Everyone around takes you as a dumping ground. They take you for granted. My 7-year-old was telling me that he doesn't have a friend in school, that people, they want to be friends with him. They come and sit with him when maybe they have something they are doing and they want to sit with him so that he can give them answers. After he has given them answers, they'll no longer be his friend. They'll no longer be his friend. They want to go. So I'm still thinking of a way to answer him or address the issue. Remember, it's not an emergency, because I didn't see it coming, so I didn't have the ready answer there. So when I think about it, if you know the answer I should give him, please help me with it. I'll really appreciate how to talk to him about it, what I can teach from it. So that is it. So you need to model confidence as a parent. Even when dealing with your child, you need to model confidence. Even with your spouse, you need to model confidence. Even minimize your self-doubts, your second-guessing. Minimize your need for validation. Minimize your need for seeking approval. Have your goals. I told my children the other time that, okay, I shared it in the Visionary Parent Academy, that you should have, when I taught about the family system, creating your family system, you should watch that video if you have not watched the class. It's really empowering. I think it was the last class we had, creating your family system. Have a bucket list where everyone you want to get something, you have it thrown inside. At the end of the month, you bring it out. So you are not buying things on random. So you can say somebody can bring a shebi for you to buy. It's not on your bucket list. It came too early. It came too late. If you can wait till next month, then I can buy it. I can factor it into next month bills. But if you cannot wait till next month, well, I didn't keep it. It is not an emergency, so I didn't keep money for it. I'll have to plan for it. Your child sees how you have these conversations with people. They see it, and that is confident conversation. So model confidence. Model confidence. to your children? Complaining, whining, playing the victim, gossiping, quarreling all the time, not carrying yourself, being always under pressure, being also unkept, so always under pressure, looking for sympathy, and a lot of them, they are not confident things, they are not confident behaviors, and they are going to rub off on your child. One thing I always say is that the fact that we get away with so many things we do, some of the things we do, we are lucky, doesn't mean our children will be lucky when they do those things. Now, we've seen it now. We've seen it. So some of the things you do, you are getting away with it, you are lucky. It doesn't mean your child will be lucky with those things. So model confidence, self-confidence, believe in yourself. Try, take up tasks, take up responsibilities, set a goal at every beginning of the month. Set your goal. I told my children that my goal for this month, I have 2 major projects I'm working on. Okay, I have the Boss of Me magazine for November to work on. I have another book on self-leadership for children to work on. Hopefully, they are my goals. So I create a schedule for writing them. Plus, I have my life. I have the Visionary Parent Academy. I have other personal consultations and a lot of things to attend to. I have my personal routine I've created. So what happens when somebody comes to me randomly? Now I have to go and check my schedule and be able to confidently tell them, we can do this and another time that I'm free. Right now, I am not free. So be confident, set your boundaries there. Be opportunistic. Take opportunities. You see opportunity, they come to you. Don't believe in yourself. Believe you can. Believe that what you have in you, you can. You can. When I have mentees reaching out to me, parents, coaches, they'll tell me, I'm not good at it yet. Can somebody listen? Will someone listen to me? I always tell them that, see, one, there's always a starting point. Don't make the mistake I made. Don't think, I'm not good enough. Or what if people ask me? There's always a starting point. Two, you will learn on the job. And three, you have your audience. So people will always get value from what you say. I see videos on Facebook and I'm like, what is this? Someone is sitting there and just eating noodles like this. And at the end of the day, you see comments. Excuse me, am I missing something? Excuse us. Is there something I'm missing, I'm not getting? So you always have your audience and you will grow on the job. You will learn on the job. Boldly partner, seek collaboration, partner. Just model confidence to your child in every single way you can. Reach out to people you want to reach out to. I sent someone a DM this evening. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is he will ignore. Let him ignore. I remember the other time when I was talking about the International Day of the Girl Child is next week Friday. I want to donate some books. I actually want to give some books to some people. And I had about 6 schools. They have 6 schools reach me from all of different parts of Nigeria. More than 6 schools from different parts of Nigeria. They want the books. Now, actually, I can't fund it. So if I can get someone to sponsor, to be easy for me to say, okay, let me send books. Because when I was in Lagos, I had schools reaching out to me on International Day of the Girl Child. They will always reach out to me. I'll go to the schools, I'll speak and all of that. But we moved to Delta State. I've not had that relationship. I've not. It's a suburb really, and it's kind of a place where I would say a majority of the people, they use social media for entertainment, not just to wild time, not for certain things. So I would say I'm a face in Lagos. I could be going and at least in a week I'll see someone, I know you, I learned you're empowering, I'll see someone who knows me and has been blessed wanting anytime. But here is a different ball game. So I wanted to say, okay, let me reach out on the International Day of the Girl Child. And I was looking for, okay, sponsor. So I remember my alumni association in school where people were hardly ever, I was one of the founders really. Someone reached me, we should found it. Okay, we tried and it didn't work and we didn't give up, it's just still there. said, okay, let me look for people that Nigerians, everybody is complaining, there's no money, there's no money. Let me look for people, especially our members who are not in Nigeria, who may be able to help. I sent a message to them and they did not reply. What is the worst that can happen? They do not reply. I sent a message to someone this evening, not for any sponsorship, just a message because I actually used this article for my magazine, and I thought, okay, it was wise for me to just thank him, and he has not replied, or should I say he did not reply, he has not replied. What is the worst that can happen? That is it. So there it. What is the worst that can happen? It will not take your life. What is the worst that can happen? It will not take your pride if you don't let it take your pride. So please, model self-confidence to your children. Sit back and evaluate yourself. Have you been modeling self-confidence? If you have not, then it's time for you to start modeling self-confidence. What is that one thing that you've been holding back? What is that one thing that you've been afraid to do? Go out and do it. One of the major things that I want to do, I want to model to my children is success. Oh my God, I am so, should I say determined or desperate in a good way, to be successful, to model success to my children. Every day I pray, every day I think of strategies, every day I think of what to do to model this to my children. I don't want to push them to be successful when I'm not modeling it really. I want to model it. So you want to sit back and ask yourself, where have you not been confident? What is that one thing that you have not shown self-confidence? Please go dare it. Go ahead and dare it. What is the worst that can happen? So I tell my children, what is the worst that can happen? They will laugh at you. Okay. They laugh at you. Even in church, they laugh at you. What happens when they laugh at you? You feel embarrassed. Okay, yes, we feel embarrassed because we are human beings. We have emotions. Then what is the worst that can happen? What is the worst? After then, what happens? Look at it. So what is the worst that can happen? So there, a model self-confidence to your children. The next one you want to write is a confidence pledge. If you have the manual with you already, the ebook you are using is just like about 18 pages ebook. And if you're not in the Visionary Parents Academy, you want it, you can just reach, you pay a token, just a tiny token, and we'll give it to you too. We actually want to empower parents more than the Visionary Parents Academy. So even if you are not with us, you feel you want to enjoy our resources, okay, you will just pay a token. Don't worry, it's not so much. It's not so much, you will just pay a token and you will get it. So you want to write, this is where affirmation comes in. You want to write a confidence pledge. I've written a confidence pledge already in that material. So you just want to take it and tweak it a little. An affirmation. Now, I have a video on this channel, how to use affirmation. You want to go and watch the video and learn more on how to use the confidence pledge for your child. Now, before they leave the house every morning, they say it. As a parent, you want to memorize a few lines. I wrote it in such a manner that I have an introduction, like I am bold, like, okay, I'm confident. Then a little explanation, like action that your child can actually remember. However, like I always say, this is how affirmation works. You are affirming your child, you are confident. Then you allow your child to pick up things to do. Let them show they are confident. I believe in my ability. I believe in my capacity. I can actually do it. That is confidence. It is showing. Now, when your child is struggling to do it, you are not going to remind them, you are confident. You believe in your abilities. You can do it. You tell them you can do anything you set your mind to. What does that mean? You are determined to do it, right? So you keep trying. That is, you are confident. Confident people don't give up. Nah, they don't give up. Confident people are resilient. Confident people, they learn from their mistakes. Confident people are problem solvers. They are solution bringers. They don't sit back and be whining up and down. You are confident. So get to it. Like this evening, my son was trying to lock the padlock at the gate. You know, he came to meet me, like, he always comes to meet me. Each time he tries to lock the padlock, he's not able to lock the padlock. He'll come and meet me. Mommy, I need some help. I need help. You know, because I always tell my children that, see, you don't sit down and start complaining. Complaining doesn't fix anything. So what are you complaining about? You are complaining about a situation that you need help with, right? So what are you going to do? Is it help you are going to seek now? So you are trying to get something done. You are not able to get it done. And it's getting you frustrated. What does that mean? What is your goal? Always focus on the goal, your mind on your goal 24/7. You want to get something done. You're not able to get it done. Why are you angry? Why are you frustrated? Because you are not able to get it done. which means getting it done is your goal. So what do? Sit down and cry? No, your goal is not to cry. Sit down and do what? Strategize. How do I get it done? And I tell my children that, see, when it comes to determination, getting things done at all costs, that is determination. Not giving up is determination. It includes asking for help. The goal is to get it done. So if it means you asking someone, determination is not necessarily killing yourself or breaking yourself under something. You want to do something, you are not getting, it's not, you want to get something done and you are not getting it done, you keep at it. That is not necessarily determination. It's you sitting down, looking at what you have done before, where you failed, getting new strategies. After getting new strategies, then you coming back and re-strategizing, and when it's still not getting it right, go for help. That is it. So I always encourage them, seek help. So each time he tries to lock that padlock, he just comes to me and says, Mommy, I'm not able to lock it. I said, okay, you can try. Go and try again. And he goes back, and all of the time, the 10 times he has come to meet me, I think it's only once I've gone to help him. So every other time he's gotten it right. So I will just tell him, you can try again, right? So this evening, now that I'm trying to change my words to be more confident words, so this evening when he came to say, Mommy, I couldn't do it, I had to remember one of the phrases I shared in that manual you have with you. I had to remember one of the phrases and use it to encourage him. I said, okay. I told him, you've always found a way to figure it out. Over the weeks, you always come to complain and you always find a way to figure it out. Today is not an exception. You can also figure it out. And he was trying to explain, I need help at this time. I've tried it 3-4 times. I said, okay, 3-4 times. One more time, maybe the answer you get. And guess what? He went, he came back and he was telling me, Mommy, smell it. As in, doing me like this, smell it. I got it. I said, okay, I did like this. You got it right, thumbs up. So that is how confidence works. You have affirmations for your child that you affirm them, but when they struggle, you remind them. You are confident. When they are leaving the house in the morning, remind them, remember you are confident. Remember, confidence is you finding solution. Confidence is you believing in your abilities, that you can. Confidence is you making decisions that align with your values and not making random decisions and not picking decisions and not letting people decide for you. Confidence is you being the boss of you and not just doing copycatting or following or going with the crowd. Confidence is you learning from your mistakes. Yes, you made a mistake. So what? It doesn't end you. It doesn't even define you. You can always learn and do better. That is confidence. So as you step outside today, remember what confidence means and reflect it in your behaviors. So you craft an affirmation, you use it for them when you need to nurture that special moment when you are nurturing confidence, like we shared earlier. You use the affirmation for them. When they are leaving the house in the morning, it can be an affirmation, it can be a pledge, it can be confidence mission statement. Yes, I'm on a mission to be confident today. So what is my statement that will always guide me? So in the face of difficulty, in the face of situation, when I get to school, in the face of self-doubt, in the face of second guessing, in the face of mistakes, what do I remember? What is my mantra? What is my short line that I can say? That is self-confidence. And the last thing I want to share with you today is to have a confidence party. You have a confidence jar, you have your affirmation, you are modeling it, you have a challenge. Make it a challenge. Sing it all through the month of confidence. So you remind them every single time they are struggling with something. It's a month of confidence. They are making a mistake. It's a month of confidence. They are whining and everything. Anything they do that doesn't show confidence, let them know it's our month of confidence. And we have our confidence box. So go on, show confidence, show that you are bold, show that you can, show that mistakes don't define you, show that yes, you are determined, show your confidence, show confidence. And at the end of the day, you keep, at the end of the month, like I said, you come and host your confidence party. Now, lastly, remember that confidence is not just one thing. It is lifelong. Even as parents, Every day, we still learn, we still build, we still try to be more confident. Every day, we deliberately make decisions and choices that make us confident. Every day, we also want to be confident. We want to be more confident than we are, because we expect as we grow older, as we become more in our different careers, we are going to meet more opportunities, and we need confidence to take on more opportunities. The same thing applies to your child. So when you create an atmosphere for confidence, you are not just going to create it today and say, oh, after this month we are moving on to another topic, because in the Visionary Parent Academy we move on, we have different topics we treat every month. You're not moving on to another topic, you are building upon it. You are building upon it, right? So you are not moving on, you are not going. You already have set a structure. If you have set a structure for one whole month, it simply means that you would have learnt it. A lot of it would have been part of you already. So next month, you go on to another topic. The other confidence atmosphere is already there. You're already allowing them learn from their mistakes. You're already giving age-appropriate chores. You're already letting them win. You're already celebrating their small wins, acknowledging their efforts. You already have your affirmation. So as you craft affirmation for next week, bring confidence into it. Confidence has to be part of the affirmation you are crafting for next week, right? Because confidence is still part of it. Okay, I'm confident, because all through this week now, your child has known, okay, how to build their confidence. They have known that confidence simply means that mistakes don't define them. They know that confidence simply means that they are resilient. They can keep trying. They know that confidence simply means that believing in their abilities. And of course, they are skillful. There are things they are good at. They have talent. They have skills. I was asking my children in church the other day, what are the things you are good at? I've sat my daughter down, my kids down. We have looked at the things they are good at. Confidence means you are good at something. And guess what? There's no child that is not good at something. Oh yes, every single individual has something they are good at. Unfortunately, if you're in Nigeria like me, we are limited in a way, but it doesn't mean your child is not good at something. Oh, when I ask my children, what are your skills? My 7-year-old son said, my skill is rolling my tongue like this. I think he can fold his tongue like this. Something like that. They say that is the skill. I say, how is that a skill, how is that a skill, for heaven's sake? Okay, so that is it. Like when I ask my daughter what is your skill, she will say, oh, I can what is it called? I can crochet, I can crochet, I am good at language, I can really, if she wants to learn languages, she can. She's someone that can, she's predominantly melancholic. So you know one thing about them, they are auditory learners predominantly. So because they are auditory learners, it's easy for them to grab things. So they are the kind of people that are quickly, they can read. You have children, many of them, they talk early. My daughter started talking years before. I remember she was 1 year and 2 months when someone asked me, was it 1 year and 2 months, 1 year and 8 months? I don't remember, but she was pretty early. Young when a place, and she was talking. I was trying to get a bag. She was telling me, no, I want the yellow bag with the catty ears. With someone was not asking how old, and I told the person. The person kept quiet. I didn't think take it seriously. So when the following day I came back, the woman there wasn't telling me that woman said some parents can lie. They will be reducing the age of the children. How can I say my daughter is that age? I said, excuse me, is she okay? As in, really? Why would I need to start lying, falsifying the age? What am I don't get it. That is it. So they can read early, spell gifted spellings and a lot of things. So she was telling me, I can spell, I can write stories, I can crochet, I can sing, I can cook. Oh, her talent in this world, there are too many. And she talks. I always say how she has a very loud voice. I'm always telling her, please bring down your voice. She has a loud voice. So I'm also telling her that this your voice that is loud is not for fancy. It may be that God wants you to do something with your voice, so that in the place you are talking, there's no microphone. Your voice can actually cover everywhere. You don't need a microphone to amplify your voice to talk in a situation. Anyway, so there is no child that doesn't have what they are good at. You want to look at what they are good at and project it. Let them see it. Let them see it, and also teach them to also always take opportunities. Let them see opportunities and take. I tell my children that the O in our family name, one of the things the O stand for is opportunistic. Being opportunistic. What does that mean? Opportunities don't pass you by. Nah. Opportunities don't pass you by. Opportunities to shine your light doesn't pass you by. Opportunity to solve problems shouldn't pass you by. Opportunity to make an impact shouldn't pass you by. Opportunity to help, be a help, shouldn't pass you by. How do you shine your light? You shine your light with your talent. You shine your light with your ability every single time. I tell them, oh, one time somebody was telling my daughter's classmate was telling her that every time you're the only one answering question in this class, I think you too know Vasabi, know too much, because we moved from Lagos to a suburb and it's a different ball game. And she came home and told me, I said, okay, let's sit down, look at it. See Dangote, what does it produce? Cement, sugar, pasta, noodles, and salt, seasoning cubes, juice, water, flour. Is he the only one? He's not the only one. So even this morning as we are going to school, I still reminded them, you see, the sky is big enough for all the birds in the world. They don't collide. One bird is not stopping another. So nobody should stop you. Remember, you are opportunistic, right? You need to take advantage of every opportunity. Shine your light. Be a help. Provide solution. Be a voice. Take advantage of opportunities. Any opportunity that presents itself and you fit into it, take advantage of it. And nobody has a right to stop you if you do not stop yourself. Okay, so I think I've deviated a bit now. So this is it about nurturing self-confidence in your child. I do hope you have learned something. If you have learned something, what you can do for me, I appreciate, is to copy this link and share everywhere you belong. Your old school association, your children's PTA, your church meetings, even your groups on Facebook and other social media platforms. Share so that other parents will know that, okay, there is something interesting going on here, and they will want to join and they want to follow and learn more. Remember, if you raise your child alone and I raise my child alone, we all need to come together to raise our children for the world to be a better place, for the society to be a better place. And one of the things you can do is by constantly sharing what you know. And one of the ways to share what you know is by sharing this link with other parents. And you can just share the link and put one of the things you learned, just put it there. Like maybe someone said, I can relate with this. Okay, someone says self-confidence is, you can just share what you learned, something, just a short thing you learned from today, put it and put the link and encourage them to click and watch. And this is how you are going to be part of the people who are actually, should I say, promoting positive parenting and intentional parenting. Thank you so much for joining. And this was brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy. And 2025 is ready, is open. You need to join us for 2025 so that we can parent together. So what you want to do is to leave a message asking how you can join, and we'll be glad to respond to you. Thank you so much for joining me. For the Visionary Parent Academy, let's go back and finish this discussion inside. Have a fantastic evening.